welcome to Youth Sunday School. We are continuing our study on the fruits of the Spirit. Yes, it's Advent, but the fruits of the Spirit kind of line up with Advent. We've already covered peace and joy. So what's left is hope and love. We're going to get to love for sure. And hope. I hope we'll get to hope. So today's topic, as we continue our study on the fruits of the Spirit, is faithfulness. Oh boy! So let's give that passage from Galatians another read. Maybe you haven't memorized at this point, we've heard it so much. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against things like this. What is faithfulness? Well, faithfulness is yet another word that we already know what it means, but we're just going to look into it a little deeper and look at some of the Greek words where it comes from. But first, let's check out our English dictionary definitions for faithfulness. Faithful, adjective, steadfast in affection or allegiance, loyal, firm in adherence to promises or in observance of duty, conscientious, given with strong assurance, binding, true to the facts, to a standard or to an original. Obsolete, full of faith. Conan calling faithfulness obsolete. Let's go see if there's anything different under faith without the full part on it. Loyalty. Fidelity, which is faith and loyalty. Belief and trust and loyalty to God. Belief in traditional doctrines of a religion. Firm belief in something for which there is no proof. Complete trust, something that is believed especially with strong conviction. So, I don't think we really find much new in these dictionary definitions. I mean, being faithful is a lot of being loyal. Like, you'll hear that people are faithful or unfaithful in their, romantic relationships especially, or in their marriages. And that means being loyal to the person that you've committed to. The other dimension of just faith itself is that it is a word that also is just a stand-in for religion. Like you can say people of different faiths, where you could say people of different religions, or people of different beliefs. And that's, I think, the general way that the word faith is used. For now, we're diving into, the loyalty part of faithfulness. I think because the word faithful implies doing a little more than just believing something. So last week I had a bunch of fun looking up Greek words, and I did it again this week and found an even better place to find information. One of my big struggles in finding information about biblical Greek was finding a website that was impartial enough to just convey the facts and information about the biblical Greek and not have some kind of agenda. And I like to just, get my basic facts in order before people start trying to convince me of things to believe. I don't know, maybe you're like that too. So, the Greek word that's used in this Galatians passage is pistis. That's the word used for faithfulness. And so, the definition for that is kind of what you'd expect, and relates a lot to our English faithful definition. Conviction of truth of anything, belief, conviction that God exists, relating to Christ, convictions or beliefs. Basically, pistis is being loyal to and believing in God and in Jesus. On the most basic level. And I learned that the word pistis originates from another Greek word called peitho. Peitho means to persuade, or to induce one by words to believe, to make friends of, win one's favor, gain one's goodwill, to tranquilize, to persuade someone to do something, to be persuaded, to believe, to have faith, to believe. So after examining all these different words and getting caught up in Greek word salad, what do we do with all this information? What does it mean to be faithful? I don't know. I do know. Something I noticed in all of this is that I realized there's different sides to faithfulness. I thought faithfulness is like a three-way street, and Here's how I'll explain that. So the first thing I noticed is that faith is pretty much linked to trust. When you're trusting somebody, you're believing that they're going to hold to their word and be good to you and keep their promises. And so faith and trust go hand in hand. Faithfulness as a three-way street. The first part of it is trusting God. Trusting that God will keep the promises that God has made to us, to love us and to redeem all creation, to heal us and to set things right. To keep believing and trusting that God is going to follow through on these promises, and to keep believing in the goodness of God. The other side of that three-way street of faithfulness is trusting others, which, I don't know about you, but that's probably the hardest one. I don't know about you, but I've been burned before by people. Maybe you've had friends or family members who promised to do something and then didn't keep that promise, and it made it hard to trust them. Or just people in general who said they were going to do something and then didn't follow through and let you down. And that makes it harder to trust them that they will, follow through in the future. So trusting others is probably the challenging part of faithfulness. But it's also so valuable when you are able to trust and have that secure kind of relationship or friendship with someone. And I think when you offer someone your trust, you're also offering them confidence. When you know that somebody trusts you, there's an amount of power that comes along with it. Knowing that this person has given you the ability to hurt them. That's part of what trust is. And it's scary, but it also pays off in a really beautiful way. And so trusting others is risky, but good. And that's part of our call to be faithful, is to trust people, to look for the best in people, and to give people that confidence that we think they're going to follow through and do what's good. The final side of this three-way street, so we've got trusting God, we've got trusting others. The final piece on this three-way street of faithfulness is being trustworthy ourselves. So that means we have to be trustworthy. We have to keep our own promises. We have to do the things that we say we're going to do. And we have to be true to the things that we say. Our actions need to reflect our words. And that's the final challenge of faithfulness. When Paul in Galatians calls us to have faithfulness as a fruit of the Spirit, what that means is that we need to trust and be trustworthy. We need to trust God and trust others, and we need to be trustworthy ourselves, so that we can create a strong bond both with God and with the people around us. And once you have that bond in place, some really wonderful and beautiful things can happen in life. I hope you have a good week. Stay warm. Bundle up. It's almost Christmas. I hope you've got your gifts ready for the people that you want to give gifts to. Have a good week, and I love you all.